Well, she was too young to have watched Doogie Kameāloha, MD, when it was on television. Actress Peyton Elizabeth Lee saw enough in the concept to want to see it through in a reboot. In the new Disney series Doogie Kameāloha, MD, she plays a 16-year-old doctor straddling two very different worlds. We got a chance to talk with Lee about this whole new world. Hey, Peyton, how are you?
I'm doing well. How are you?
Well, good. Can you ever consider that you could be a doctor? I mean, is that possible?
You mean in real life?
Yeah, could you see yourself being a doctor at your age?
No, not really. Acting has always really been my dream, and so I'm very fortunate to be living it.
Is it hard to catch up with all the jargon that they use in medicine? Is that difficult or?
Definitely. I mean, those big medical monologues were a big challenge for me, because I wanted to know what I was talking about. I wanted to say it properly. I wanted to know what I was talking about. I really wanted to create the illusion that I was a teenage doctor, and that requires not only just memorizing the words, but really knowing what you're saying and saying it like you say it all the time.
The idea here too is she's kind of got a split personality. She's still a teenager, but then she's also supposed to be an adult. How difficult is that to kind of marry? Is that a difficult situation?
I mean, it's definitely a difficult situation. But for me, playing Lahela, that aspect of her life came very naturally to me, because I have a very sort of unique insight into that experience, not being a teenage doctor, obviously, but being a teenage actress. I know what it feels like to sort of exist in two worlds and to have the side of you that's just a girl growing up and experiencing crushes and issues with your friends and parents and family and going to school dances and that very universal teenage experience. And I also know what it's like to be a young person in a professional environment and sort of having to hold your own in an adult dominated world and deal with those pressures and adult responsibilities that are placed on you at a very young age. So even though I'm not a doctor, I do have experience sort of navigating the dualities of that existence.
What don't the fans understand about being in an adult world like that? I mean, I'm sure they think it's all just premieres and fun stuff and that, but what don't they realize?
Well, I mean, I think there's a lot of hard work that goes into it. There's, being a young person on a set is incredible for a lot of reasons. There are ways where it's very beneficial. People have lower expectations for you, and so it's easier to impress people, I think. There is something to be said for having a more youthful, modern perspective on a set. I think that can be very useful. And obviously there are the more difficult parts of it. People underestimate you and they don't think you can do everything that an adult can. I'm in school while I'm on set too, which takes up a lot of time. So, there's great things and there are hard things about it. And Lahela also experiences that too, how it can be a great thing and it can also be a hindrance.
All right. Can you surf? Or is that just like smoke and mirrors?
No, that's mostly me. Most of the surfing stuff is me. There's a couple things that are a stunt double, but it's mostly me. My dad's a big surfer and my brother's a big surfer. And so I kind of grew up being in the water a lot. So it was really fun to be able to portray that side of me.
Is it easy to learn though? Because I can't even swim, but surfing, is it easy?
I don't think so at all. I think it's very difficult. I'm not very good at it, but already I think it's hard. But I did grow up in the water, and so I am, comfortable in that setting, but surfing is very difficult.
And one last question. Can you diagnose anything now? Are you around your friends and you say, oh, I know what that is. I know what you have.
Not really, because most of the medical mysteries on our show were pretty obscure illnesses. So they're not your everyday diagnosis.
Darn.
Yeah.
Well, if I get something from surfing, I'll know what to do, right?
you'll know who to come to.
That's right. Hey, thank you so much.
Thank you.